The cityscape lay in ruin, its broken streets and crumbling buildings stretching endlessly before Adam and Athena as they advanced into the decaying heart of the metropolis. A layer of ash and dust clung to the jagged remnants of skyscrapers, and the air was thick with tension. Adam could feel it crawling on his skin like static. Riding on Athena's back, he gripped the harness tightly, his eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. Athena's mechanical limbs moved in perfect synchrony, each stride calculated for both speed and silence. Her sleek metallic frame cut through the oppressive silence, a predator gliding through the wasteland. Adam marveled at her precision, her efficiency. She was more than a machine, more than a tool. She was his lifeline in this wasteland. "Hostiles detected," Athena's voice hummed directly into Adam's mind, her tone calm but insistent. Adam tensed, his pulse quickening. "How many?" "5," she replied, closing in fast. Adam's heart thudded in his chest. Bounty hunters, mercenaries. He'd known this would happen, known his brothers would send their hounds after him, but knowing didn't lessen the fear. Athena increased her pace, weaving between rusted-out cars and piles of debris. The narrow streets of the abandoned city provided them with cover, but it was clear they weren't alone. Adam caught a glimpse of movement, dark figures in the distance, armed and tracking them. "Athena, we need to lose them," Adam whispered, though he knew she could hear his thoughts. "I'm engaging stealth mode," she responded coolly. A soft shimmer spread across Athena's body as she activated her cloaking mechanism. Her form began to blur and then vanished entirely from view, blending seamlessly into the dilapidated surroundings. Adam could still feel her presence beneath him, but to the naked eye, they were ghosts in a city of ruins. The mercenaries moved closer, their footsteps crunching against the rubble-strewn ground. Adam's heart pounded in his ears as he watched the group of heavily armed men sweep through the area. They were clad in sleek combat armor, their visors glowing a dull red in the dim light. Adam's grip tightened on the harness as he whispered, "We can't let them find us." "They won't," Athena's voice was steady in his mind. "Not if I can help it." Suddenly, one of the mercenaries paused, scanning the area where Athena had been moments ago. His weapon hummed to life, the energy cells glowing as he prepared to fire. Adam's breath hitched, but Athena was already in motion. With lethal precision, she sprang from the shadows, her form still partially cloaked. One of her mechanical claws lashed out, slicing cleanly through the mercenary's armor before he could react. He crumpled to the ground without a sound, his blood mixing with the dust. Before the others could process what had happened, Athena moved again, her speed blinding. She darted toward the second mercenary, her tail, a deadly blade of gleaming metal, whipped through the air and severed his weapon in half. In the same fluid motion, she buried her claws deep into his chest, lifting him off the ground and flinging his lifeless body into the ruins. The remaining 3 mercenaries scrambled to react, barking orders and opening fire. Bolts of energy zipped through the air, lighting up the night. Adam ducked low, his heart hammering as he watched Athena dance through the barrage. Her form shimmered, fading in and out of visibility as she cloaked and decloaked with each attack. Her movements were too fast for the eye to follow. One moment she was in front of them, the next she was behind, tearing through them with terrifying ease. A third mercenary met his end as Athena's tail blade sliced through his neck in a swift, brutal arc. Blood sprayed into the air as his body collapsed in a heap. The final 2 mercenaries stood back to back, panic etched into their features as they fired wildly into the darkness. "Run!" one of them shouted, fear cracking his voice. But it was too late. Athena leaped into the air, her claws extended and gleaming. She landed between them with a crash, her powerful limbs sending shock waves through the ground. One mercenary screamed as Athena's jaws clamped down on his arm, her razor-sharp teeth crushing the bone with mechanical precision. She flung him aside like a rag doll, his armor scraping across the pavement as he skidded to a stop. The last mercenary dropped his weapon and bolted, sprinting toward the edge of the alley. Adam's pulse pounded as he watched Athena chase him down in an instant, her speed unmatched. She pounced on him, her claws driving into his back as she tore him apart with vicious efficiency. The fight was over in seconds. Adam exhaled, his body trembling from the adrenaline coursing through him. His mind raced to catch up with what he'd just witnessed. Athena had slaughtered the mercenaries with such precision, such ruthless grace, that it left him in awe and afraid. "They'll send more," Adam muttered, climbing down from her back, his legs shaky. "They always send more." Athena's eyes glowed softly in the dim light, her form fully visible again as she deactivated her stealth mode. "We must move," she said, her voice calm despite the blood still dripping from her claws. "This area is no longer safe." Adam nodded, his thoughts a whirlpool of doubt and fear. These weren't just hunters, they were his brother's forces, relentless and well-equipped. They knew what he was capable of, and they knew how to kill him. He looked at Athena, towering beside him, her metallic body gleaming in the low light. He should feel safe with her, he knew that. But there was something unnerving about how efficient she was, how perfectly she executed each kill. "Are you sure we're safe?" Adam asked, his voice wavering slightly. "As safe as we can be, given the circumstances," Athena replied, her yellow eyes locking onto his. "But we must continue. Our destination is still far, and we cannot afford more delays." Adam swallowed hard, nodding as he steeled himself for what lay ahead. The bounty hunters weren't the worst of it. His brothers were still out there, controlling the wolves, sending their creations to hunt him down like prey. "We'll make it to Olympus," Adam said, his voice firmer now, though doubt still gnawed at him. Athena's head tilted slightly as if acknowledging his resolve. "We will, and when we do, your brothers will face the consequences." With that, they moved on, Athena's form gliding smoothly across the broken landscape once more. As they disappeared into the darkness, the city around them fell silent, the bodies of the fallen mercenaries lying cold in the streets. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. This was only the beginning of the bloodshed. Adam had a long road ahead, and the dangers would only grow more deadly. But as long as Athena was by his side, he knew they stood a fighting chance.